a couple of controversies. The main one over the last while about Jakob Peyper being photographed after the match with the Welsh supporters mimicking Venemina's elbow. Yeah. It's probably going to rule him out, I'd imagine, for the rest of the World Cup. Is that a bit harsh?
For me, yes. It's a massive regret for him. It will be, you know, the word on the street is that he was probably going to ref England and New Zealand, but we'll actually never know now because he was taken out before the selection meeting. But to be honest, I know Jaco since 2010. We were in Argentina together for the Under-20 World Championships, and we've refed and touch judged for each other over the last, I suppose, nearly nine seasons, really. And he's a funny guy. He likes to go out for a beer after a match and enjoy himself because it's a tough job, and you just go out and try and a bit of a release and get out there. But I suppose the danger is now to do something like he did. Just it took a bad turn. The French were looking to deflect away from probably the most justifiable red card ever, and the guy suffers the biggest blow to his career, because who knows, he might never get another opportunity to ref a semi-final again. But
I would have thought one of the sacrifices you have to make as a referee, though, is that you can't have that beer after the match in public. That unfortunately, while you're part of the occasion, once the occasion is finished, you go off down the tunnel, you go back, you might have your meal, you stick with your officiating team, but you basically stay away from the public.
In your hotel room?
Yes, unfortunately.
I think there's still place for people to go out after the match, but you're right. But I hope it doesn't go down where, you know, Premiership soccer referees have to meet in blacked out vans 2 hours from the ground, be brought in, you don't see the players before or after, you don't get fed, you press a bell to get the players out. We've an interaction with the players on the field. I think if we lose that, we'll lose one of rugby's traditions. So I hope it continues, but I understand your point that you just have to be a little bit more careful now.
The other story, obviously, from an Irish point of view, was Bundiaki's red card.
Yeah.
Had he any cause for complaint?
I have a sympathy. I'm a little bit biased. Obviously, I've been working with the Irish lads for their training sessions.
I thought referees couldn't be biased.
Oh, well, look, we're all Irish at the end of the day. I'm retired. I can say what I want now, but I mean, within reason. I think the reaction time definitely is a factor, and being a little bit unlucky. The tackle framework has been a huge talking point, obviously. You know, I was looking at a few figures there from 2015, you know, and there was 45 yellow cards in 2015. 8 of those were for foul play, for high tackles, tip tackles, the type of stuff. This World Cup up to now in the pool stages was 26 yellow cards only, but 16 were for foul play. So 67% of them were for foul play in this one, and only 18% in the pool stages. And we've had 8 red cards, and we had 1 red card in 2015. So, yeah, I think the timing of the tackle framework was probably the issue. You know, I was with 5 different teams, it's 55 players and 30 coaches. Coming in so late has taken a bit of adjusting for the players and obviously the referees as well. So obviously it's disappointing.
One of those red cards that was given at the World Cup, we should mention, was to a Cork man.
Yeah, John Quill, one of the teams I was working with was USA, so there was a good Irish connection there. So unfortunately for John, and he's obviously retired now, so I can't say what I want here, probably, because he won't be coming back. But a couple of funny stories, well, one funny and one pretty serious. So when you get a red card at a Rugby World Cup tournament, you've got 31 squad. If you get someone injured, you can replace them. If you get a red, you can't. So some teams decide that player leaves straight away. Some teams just keep their player. So one of my players in Canada got red carded, he stayed on. Bundy obviously stayed on, which we're all familiar with. But the Americans had agreed that before they left, actually in a training camp we were in Seattle, that if they got a red card, you packed your bag and you left straight away. So that's exactly what he did. But the funny part of the story was, I was with him the week before, and then obviously he got sent off. He did get a bang to the head 3 rucks before that, and it was called for the HIA, which people will never know. So in his defence, I think he was concussed when he made the tackle on Owen Farrell, which is ironic. But the funny part of the story was, I sent him a text, it's about 24 hours after, and I'd moved to the Uruguay team at that stage.